Hi, this is Larry Singyan. I'm doing a video demonstration for my Project 9. So right now we are viewing my host PC screen, and there's kind of a lot of windows that are open, but I will go over them one by one. So the first one that I wanted to go over is this PuTTY connection in COM8. Basically, this window is going to be displaying the values for the roll, pitch, and the yaw that we'll be receiving from the Raspberry Pi via Bluetooth serial. So I actually already ran my program beforehand, but I stopped it for this demonstration. So basically this, again, as I mentioned, the purpose of this PuTTY screen is basically displaying the serial data from the Raspberry Pi to the host PC. So to go over my Bluetooth serial connection between the host PC and the Raspberry Pi, we can go over here in my host PC's Bluetooth and other devices settings, and we can see that the Bluetooth name for the PC is desktop v0nattk, and when we scroll down we can see that we are connected via Bluetooth to the Raspberry Pi. It says we're connected, music, it says music, but we just ignore that, and then we can disconnect if we want to. If we hover over to my host PC's Bluetooth settings, we can see that in the COM ports, which is the serial ports, we can see that COM8 is assigned as outgoing for the Raspberry Pi serial port. And this COM8 matches with the COM8 serial connection session that we started with PuTTY. And lastly, if we go over to the Raspberry Pi, which right now we're connected via VNC Viewer so that we can remotely control it, if we hover over to the Bluetooth settings over here, very simple, we can see that we are connected to the desktop v0nattk, and we can disconnect if we want to. So here again, desktop v0nattk. So cool, we have our Bluetooth connection between the the Raspberry Pi and the host PC. So if we hover over to my terminal on the Raspberry Pi, I ran this command called sudo rfcom-watch HCI0. So this is actually going to be our serial connection via Bluetooth from the Raspberry Pi to the host PC. And so right now we can see it's still waiting for a connection on channel 1. It was waiting for a connection on channel 1, but since we're connected via Bluetooth, it says connection from C0, E4, blah blah blah. This is the PC's Bluetooth address. So we are connected, as we've confirmed. So now that we have that serial connection set up, all we need to do now is on the Raspberry Pi itself, I created a Python script, and the whole purpose of the script is to just read the IMU values from the Arduino that is connected to the Raspberry Pi via USB, and is connected in the USB serial port called dev TTYACM0. So from this serial port, the Raspberry Pi will be receiving the IMU data from the Arduino. So once it's received that IMU data, what we want to do is to forward that serial data to the Bluetooth serial connection in the host PC. And as we've seen again in the terminal, if I open it again, that serial port is called HCI0. More specifically, it is RFCOM0, and that's why we have this called, in this Python script, the host PC serial folder is named /dev/RFCOM0. And so we initialize the baud rate. We're receiving the IMU data at 101.5200, but for the PC we just want to transmit it at a 9600 baud rate. So here we initialize the serial ports for the Arduino and the host PC. And then once we've initialized all the serial connection, the functionality of this code is pretty simple. We are just going to be running in an infinite loop, and all we'll be doing is we'll be reading the IMU values from the Arduino serial connection line by line. We will store that in the test val variable, and once we've stored that, we will just go ahead and send that to the host PC via serial using the host PC serial.write test val. So we'll go ahead and we'll run the script. So when we run the script, we should see the values here updating. So let's go run. You can see run serial test.py, serial comms initiate. Yep, so we have your initialization, and now we can see the IMU value. Pretty straightforward. So the drone right now is in a flat surface on my desktop, so I'm just going to go ahead and lift it up and mess with it and see the value, and we should see the values change. So I'm raising the drone right now. Okay, so it's in my hands, and then I'm going to go ahead and mess around with the yaw, so we should see big changes with the yaw values. Okay, cool. Let me mess around with the pitch now, so you should see the values change quite a bit. And lastly, let's mess with the roll. Okay, alright, looks good. And then now I'm going to put it back to the desk. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and create a separate video just to demonstrate again after this video, just to show that me moving the drone should change the IMU values that we are receiving. Alright, thank you so much for watching.